Explained to us that really we can summarize the purpose of the creation and the purpose of our lives in the three blessings. But among the three blessings, it's really the second blessing, the blessing that God gave to us to become ideal husbands and wives and to build families of true love in which God can reside. God really does not want to live just in a church or temple or mosque or gurudwara. Actually, God really wants to live in our hearts and in our families, in our homes. And that's really the kind of family that God wanted the first human ancestors to build. And as we heard, unfortunately, the first human ancestors did not obey God's commandment, and they could not fulfill this ideal of true love. But God's hope was that really if the first human family had been centered on God's true love, that could have expanded to a society, nation, and a world of true love. And the kingdom of heaven could have been built at that very time. It could have begun on earth, and then when we pass away, we could have established the kingdom of heaven also in the spiritual world. But really this ideal of true love is based on living for the sake of others, which Father Moon has always been emphasizing, that true love is not taking but giving, just like God has been always investing and giving everything to humankind. And this nature of true love is what we can experience most fully and most deeply in the family. Actually, true love is an ability that we have to acquire. When we are born as children, actually the first level of love that we experience is children's love. That means we receive our parents' unconditional love. Day and night, our parents are ready to give themselves completely for the sake of the children. And the children respond with love, with gratitude, and with respect towards their parents. But as they grow up, they have to enter another realm of love, which is the brothers and sisters love, where they have to learn to share. They have to learn to share their parents' heart. They have to learn to share their parents' time, toys, food, everything. And this is a very important preparation for the next level of love as a husband and wife. Because as a couple, you have to share everything, 100%. You have to give yourself completely. So if someone has not prepared themselves well before marriage, if they are a very self-centered person, they will surely encounter a lot of difficulties in their marriage relationship. So if a husband of true love and a wife of true love really unite, then naturally when they give birth to their children as a fruit of that love that they share, they are willing to invest everything, give everything to their children. So love is really a process of growth from the most self-centered as a small baby to the most selfless kind of love as a parent. And this is really then the model that we also expand in the society, to the society. Actually, parents' love is really the model for leaders. As a leader, we need to have that parental heart towards the people we are responsible for. A good leader is a leader of heart, with a parental heart who loves and unconditionally invests in his followers or the people he is responsible for. Brother and sister love is really the model of overcoming prejudice, racism, but really becoming one family despite differences in character, because we have experience in our own home. Brothers and sisters are very different, but we love each other. Why? Because we have the same parents, because we are one family. And so we have to see the whole human family as one family under God, our heavenly parent. Children's love is really the model how to respect our elders, our teachers, our superiors. If we don't learn to really love and respect our parents, in the future it will be difficult for us to obey and to love and respect people in authority. But all these kinds of love really are based on the pillar in the family, which is the love of the husband and wife. And this love cannot be shared with anyone. This is different. Parents' love, brother-sister love, children's love can be shared outside of the family, can be shared with anyone. But husband and wife love is unique because it involves the sexual love. And Father Moon explains to us that actually the highest human values are to be realized through the love of a man and a woman. It's in the love when husband and wife become one heart and one body through their physical love. That is when the child is conceived and a new lineage is created. So Father Moon says that marriage joins the life of one woman and the life of one man. In time, through children, it joins the lineage of the man and the lineage of the woman. It thus begins a history, a nation, the world, and the kingdom of heaven on earth. So really the love between an ideal husband and wife is the beginning of building nations of peace and a world of peace. And so Father Moon always tells us, actually he coined a very specific term. He introduced the concept of absolute sex as the counter-proposal to free sex. He said that the key to experiencing true love is to be absolutely pure before marriage. And then once we are married, to be absolutely faithful to our spouse, no matter what. He calls that absolute sex, that absolute oneness, that absolute trust, that intimacy that a husband and wife share with each other forever. And so Father Moon sees as the very core or essence of his mission is really the rebuilding of families of true love. Families where husband and wife, parents and children really practice that concept of absolute sex, of absolute pure love, love committed to each other. And through that, we can restore this fallen world into an ideal world of true love, true life, and true lineage. Actually, Father Moon really began this blessing movement and this restoration of ideal families with his own marriage blessing to Mother Moon, Mrs. Hakchahan Moon, in 1960. And ever since, they strove to be the model of true love, to be the model true parents who can give rebirth to humankind. And so ever since that time in 1960, Father and Mother Moon started blessing their followers with increasingly larger numbers of couples, starting with 36 couples, and I cannot list all of them, just to show how the numbers of couples, blessed families that receive God's blessing through Father and Moon has increased. Like in 1972, there were 1,800 couples. 82, there were 6,000 couples. You know, in 92, a whole Olympic, the Seoul Olympic Stadium was filled with 30,000 couples. Later, Father Moon, you blessed 40 million couples, and of course you can't fill them in one stadium, so there were satellite blessings all over the world, linked by satellite to the central blessing that took place in Korea. And Father Moon also said, if the United Nations is the leading institution to establish world peace, then the United Nations also must promote marriage and family, God-centered families of true love. So we celebrated this in 2001. And then Father joined hand with religious leaders from all the different religions, because this is a common cause that is very dear to the hearts of any religious leader. And with permission, I want to show the photo of my fellow panelists. I'm sorry, I'm asking your permission now, but I know that you are very proud of your family, and we are proud to have you as one of our wonderful blessed families. I want to also share, recently Father Moon really asked us to expand this blessing movement all over the world, and a wonderful example we had just 1 year ago in the Philippines, how this blessing movement really can contribute to world peace. At that time, our peace ambassador, here he's the governor of the Sultan Kudarat, a province in Mindanao, which has been plagued with violence for decades. He's one of our peace ambassadors, and invited an UPF and said, you must have a peace blessing ceremony in my own province to solve the problems of violence. And so we arranged, together with the governor and his government support, a peace blessing of 12,000 couples. Actually, 30,000 people came. And the amazing thing is that 8 months later, I read in the Indonesian newspaper that Sultan Kudarat became the center of retraining the former Moro rebels into peaceful professions. And I was amazed. I know Father Moon's peace blessing works, but to read it in the newspaper by someone who doesn't know anything. But he said the peace process, we held this peace blessing March 31st. They wrote in the newspaper in April, the peace process that had been stalled for years picked up again. In October, the peace treaty was signed by the government and the Moro rebels, and Sultan Kudarat, which used to be the very center of violence, is now becoming the center of retraining these rebels and integrating them into society. So this is an amazing testimony how important and how much influence marriage and peaceful, loving families, when we join across the barriers of race, religion, and nationality, we can really build world peace. We afterwards went to all the different parts of Thailand, especially in South Thailand, where there's a conflict between the Muslim and the Buddhists. And we invite the religious leaders from all the religions to join us in blessing these couples, and also the political leaders, the government leaders, so that we can really work together for building lasting peace. And you can see that these couples, they are married couples, some of them newly married, some of them decades of marriage, but they rededicate their marriage and family for the sake of building nations of peace. And they recommit themselves to building deeper and greater love centered on God in their homes. And you can see even all ages join us, because the couples, they are so excited. We really want to be forever. We want to build true love in our families forever. And so the pledge that these couples make in these blessing ceremonies is, number one, to be absolutely faithful in marriage. As parents, as elders, we have to be the model. If we want to teach our young people to stay pure, to prepare themselves for their future marriages through abstinence, then we have to be the model of pure love. And so we ask these couples to guide their children and grandchildren in that way, and to live together for the sake of others as married couples and as a family, and to encourage people from all races, religions, nationalities, and cultures to live as one family under God. So we can really see that this interfaith and international peace blessing can solve the diverse problems we have in society. It can unite nations, races, religions, cultures. It can solve the problem of immorality and misfortune, and really help us to build one family under God. So I want to conclude with Father Moon's words as an encouragement to all of us. Let us all build ideal families and contribute to the building of the kingdom of heaven on earth, which is the long-cherished dreams of God and humankind. Thank you very much.